Welcome to page 3 of your volume packet. On this page, you're going to name several solids. Most of the solids on this page are polyhedrons. Let's take a look at the top of our page. A polyhedron is a solid figure in which all the sides are polygons. Think of it this way. All sides are flat surfaces. Pyramids and prisms are polyhedrons. Let's start with a pyramid. A pyramid has one base face. In the case we're given here, the base is a square. Remember, squares are rectangles, and this is a rectangular pyramid, or you can call it a square pyramid. That's one feature, looking at the base face. When there's just one base face, it's a pyramid. But also, let's look at the sides. We see the sides are triangular in shape. Those triangular sides are another feature we look for. Now let's take a look at the prism that we're given over on the right side. In this case, there are two congruent base faces. You can't always see the base faces in the drawing, but we know they're there. In this particular case, if you use your imagination, you can visualize the base face on the bottom, which is parallel to the base face on top. And if you take a look at the sides of this particular prism, they are rectangular sides. So that's another feature we see in prisms, the rectangular side faces. Now let's take a moment and let's name a few of the pyramids and prisms that we've been given. Let's take a look at some of the polyhedrons we've been given. They're going to be either pyramids or prisms, and they might be triangular base faces, rectangular, pentagonal, hexagonal, or octagonal base faces. Let's take a look at letter A. Even though you can't see the face on the bottom, we know it's a triangle. Please sketch this on your packet and shade in the triangle on the top. Clearly, there are two base faces. Well, this is a prism. But what kind of prism is it? Well, since the base on the bottom and on top are triangular, you would label this a triangular, please write this down, prism. As we move to the next polyhedron, we see once again the base face is a triangle. But in this case, there's only one base face, so we know that this is a pyramid. One base face. We would name this, because of the base face, a triangular pyramid. Let's move down to row B. Take a look at what we've been given right here. Take a look at the first polyhedron we've been given. We see that there is one base face on the bottom. Clearly, it's a pyramid. If you look at that base face, we see there are 5 sides, and it's a pentagon. So we would name this particular solid a pentagonal pyramid. Let's move to the solid at the end of row B. Now, we can see that the top base face is a pentagon, and although we can't clearly see it, we know that the bottom base face is also a pentagon. So we have two base faces. This makes this solid a type of prism. And once again, since we have a pentagon on the bottom and a pentagon on top, you would call this a pentagonal prism. Let's move on to the very last row. Take a look at the last solid on the page. It's been tipped over, but we know that there is only, if we were to put it right side up, one base face. So clearly, this is a type of pyramid. And if you look at the sides, they certainly are triangular. If we look at that bottom surface, we see it's an octagon. So this particular solid would be called an octagonal pyramid. Now complete the rest on your own. Pause the video, and when you're ready, turn the video back on and check your work. Pause the video. Now let's check our work. For this solid, you should have gotten rectangular prism. Give yourself a C. For this solid, you should have gotten hexagonal prism. Give yourself a C. For this solid, octagonal prism. For this solid, you should have gotten hexagonal pyramid. Give yourself a C if you're correct. And lastly, why aren't cylinders, cones, and spheres polyhedrons? You should have answered something like this. They are not polyhedrons because they have curved surfaces. Polyhedrons must have flat surfaces only. This concludes page 3 of your volume packet.